Hello, good afternoon and welcome to the final fireworks in Valencia. Of course, this is a huge weekend in its own right, but an anniversary weekend as well. 10 years on from Valencia 2015, a weekend that no MotoGP fan will ever forget. And that right there is a championship winning motorcycle. And this man right here is a championship winning rider. Jorge, how are you?
How are you? What a beauty, no?
Yeah, it still looks
Amazing,
good
eh?
now.
So smooth, so elegant. It's the colors are amazing. So yeah, I feel a lot of memories of an unbelievable year and unbelievable weekend that finally had a happy ending, no?
Can you believe it's 10 years ago?
Well, the time goes super quick. I cannot believe it has passed 10 years. Looks like only 2 or 3 years, but yeah, you know, a lot of nostalgic, no? A lot of nostalgic.
What are your memories of that race day? Waking up on the Sunday, going to the track?
I was super focused. I was super strong physically, and I knew I will make it. So I tried to be sure that nothing was out of my control, that everything was okay. So I was very careful with my mechanics, that all the bike was perfect and no mistakes with anything. And I knew I had to do my best qualifying in my life, and I did it. And I knew I had to be perfect on the race, and I did it. So I didn't fail. I didn't make any mistake. The pressure of the Hondas was strong, but I knew I couldn't fail.
We're here in the VIP village, enjoying some of the glamour. I imagine that the party on Sunday night after Valencia 10 years ago was quite good as well.
Yeah, it was amazing. No, I understood through the years, no, that I needed to enjoy the moments, because maybe we will not come back these moments. So it's important to enjoy when you win, when you finish in the podium, obviously when you win a championship, you need to enjoy at the maximum with your friends, with the team. And this is what I did the last 5 years of my career. Just after the race, party in my motorhome, party in the night. So I train super serious during the week, but when I make a result, I party hard as well.
Just before we let you go to enjoy the VIP village here, the end of another season, 22 rounds, Marc coming back and winning the World Championship, but it looks as though at the front now it's as competitive as ever. Going into next year, we should have a great fight.
Also this year, time goes super quick, 22 races. Marc Marquez came back with the best bike, with a red bike. He's very strong still, 32 years old. Obviously the younger are coming. Acosta now get very strong the last five races, and I believe he will be one of the favorites. Aprilia and Bezzecchi are also strong without Marc on the track. But I think Marc overall still is the most complete rider, and he will be the favorite for 2026.
Oh, hey, great to see you here. Enjoy the weekend.
Perfect.
Thank you. Great to chat with 5-time world champion, 3-time MotoGP king, Jorge Lorenzo. Let's just have one last look. Look at this Yamaha M1. Now, I'm going to get all nostalgic, and yes, the modern MotoGP machines are as fast, are as agile, are as technically advanced as we've ever seen in this sport. But doesn't that just look gorgeous? That is arguably one of the best motorcycles ever made. Silky smooth, as he said, and what a championship fight that was. It will certainly go down in the annals of MotoGP history, but we haven't got long enough to speak about 2015. So instead, we'll show you the MotoGP VIP Village. It's the final Inside the Paddock of the season, so we thought we'd change it up and bring you inside the VIP Village, because, of course, on Sunday evening, well, actually, let me get that right, Tuesday evening, once I've had the opportunity to cover off the MotoGP test, the official start of 2026, we will then be able to relax and enjoy some of the glamour that we have on show here. And let me walk you in this direction to show you the viewing area up here, which you may have seen during our live programme just earlier in MotoGP Q2, which I'll get onto, by the way, and give you a rundown of everything that we saw, because it was a fascinating one. Good evening, gentlemen. How are you? All good? Good to see you. He's an expertly dressed man. I love that. The green Adidas tracky bottoms, looking good. Hello, how are you? And yeah, this viewing area is arguably the best view in the entirety of the Circuit Ricardo Tormo in Valencia. I mean, Valencia as a circuit, as an arena, which it is is up there with the very best that we go to throughout the year, because wherever you are, you can see pretty much everything. But this is the spot you want to be, especially just think of being stood here with beverage of choice in hand, non-alcoholic or alcoholic, whatever your taste may be, and seeing the MotoGP riders fire down from the grid into this opening corner here. That right there is the view of all views. Now, unfortunately, fortunately, some may say, I'll be on the MotoGP grid later, chatting to the stars of the show. But if I couldn't be there, I wouldn't mind being here and enjoying the views that are on offer thanks to the MotoGP VIP Village. So why don't we talk about the grid that we're going to see firing down into that opening corner, because it will be Marco Bezzecchi on pole position. Back-to-back poles for Bez. Looks super strong in the free practice 2 session as well. Definitely, you would have to say, goes into the sprint and the Grand Prix arguably as favourite. Pedro Costa did look strong as well, but in the end was only able to extract middle of the second row, 5th place on the grid for Pedro, which around this very, very difficult to overtake circuit, that looks to be a big challenge for Pedro. But his rhythm, his pace does look good, especially on that harder option medium rear tyre. So still one to watch from 5th, but as we saw in Portimao, it could well be a very similar story here. If Bez is able to get the start, then he is no doubt going to be firing away and looking to open up that advantage very early, and he may well be very, very difficult to catch, as obviously for the final round of the season it's important to get some beverages, but I'm still on the clock, so just a nice Coca-Cola for me for now anyway. And who's going to be joining him on the second row of the on the first row of the grid? Marco Bezzecchi, of course, will be Alex Marquez in second, who feels a little bit behind the 8 ball. Does Alex was doing a lot of testing yesterday with the GP25 aero package in order to try and help that adaptation phase before he moves on to the 2026 bike on Tuesday. So as a result, he wasn't able to get all of the laps that he wanted under his belt yesterday, and I think maybe just feels like he's playing catch up. But still, second row of the grid, gives himself a great chance. I think we'll all be surprised if he's not in that podium fight. On the outside of the front row, Fabio Di Gianantonio, another man that does have good rhythm, but his teammate even more so. Frankie Morbidelli is fast this weekend, but the problem for Morbido, he's on row 3 of the grid, which is going to pose a huge problem for him, because the Italian, I'm sure, would have been very, very hopeful of firing his way through and fighting for victory in both the sprint and the Grand Prix. But unfortunately, from row 3, it means that he's got a huge challenge ahead of him. Second row of the grid, Fabio Quartararo, of course, is on there once again doing wonders on the Yamaha. Thank you. And rounding out that second row of the grid is Raul Fernandez. Came through from Q1 like he has done a couple of times in recent memory, but again, getting the job done. Brilliant job by Raul, showing that the Aprilia is once again pretty strong here this weekend. They are going to be huge contenders going into 2026, that is for sure. And that was the VIP Village, of course. I'm very quickly getting kicked out because I am not a VIP, but one thing I will be doing on Sunday evening is moving myself down to this huge arena down here you can see in back of shot. That is where the MotoGP Awards for 2025 will be taking place, 6:30 local time on Sunday evening. Myself and Alina Marzi will be giving out all of the big prizes, the Moto3 top 3, the Moto2 top 3, all of the big prizes in MotoGP, Rookie of the Year, Constructors Champions, Team Champions, of course the top 3, which will include Marc Marquez officially being crowned your 2025 World Champion. And to wrap off the evening as well, as you can see, all the branding is there, ready to get people excited. 7-time Latin Grammy Award winner, Daddy Yankee, Mr. Gasolina himself, will be in attendance and will be performing some of his hits. Now, I'm not going to pretend I'm the biggest Daddy Yankee fan of all time. It's not really my cup of tea, but my colleagues who are into that kind of music, I'm more of a rock and roll man personally. But I have been told that he puts on quite a show, so that is certainly something to look out for and be excited for. Once the award show rounds out, we'll see Marc Marquez been officially presented, as we say, as your world champion, and then we're treated to a musical delight. What a day for Daddy Yankee as well, because not only is he making his way from the NFL halftime show, they're playing a game in Madrid in Spain for the very first time in NFL history, and then he's jumping in a private jet and making his way down here to Valencia to perform for all of the fans and all of the special guests that will be in attendance down there on Sunday evening tomorrow night. As we see, we're inside the fan zone here. Extremely busy, I have to say. Valencia is a sellout tomorrow. It's going to be close to 100,000 people in attendance, and they're all going to be cheering on their home heroes. And they've got one on the front row of the grid as well in Alex Marquez, of course already wrapped up second in the World Championship, and you have to feel as though Alex Marquez is just going to have that extra motivation, that extra energy when he's out on track in warm-up tomorrow, when he does the rider parade and sees those packed grandstands, the blue and whites, the flags of 73 draped across as many seats and grandstands as you can possibly see. That surely is going to fire him up and hopefully fire him towards fighting for victory, which is exactly what these fans want to see. The same goes for Pedro Acosta as well. I'm sure there are plenty of Shark fans here that are desperate to see the main man finally get some MotoGP success, some MotoGP gold around his neck or for his trophy cabinet back home. Can it be this weekend? It's going to take something special from the middle of the second row of the grid, and we'll round off by seeing, look at this, DJ set, the food is flowing, the drinks are flowing. Often I say this, but it's never more true than right now. Where else in the world would you rather be than at MotoGP? Not only are we the most exciting sport on earth, but we also put on the greatest show on earth as well. And that is absolutely going to be the case this weekend here in Valencia, round 22 of 22. What a season it's been inside the paddock from every venue around the world. I've thoroughly enjoyed being with you, catching up with riders, with team managers, with celebrities, with MotoGP legends and MotoGP Hall of Famers like Jorge Lorenzo early on. And the good news is we'll be back in 2026. Round one in Thailand is where you'll get your next dose of Inside the Paddock in February, yes, February 2026. So put it in your diaries, please enjoy. And that is the beauty of Inside the Paddock, because we are live, anything can happen, and some people can walk across the camera, but that's how we operate. We love it as well. Thank you for joining us this year. We hope you enjoyed this. Enjoyed the season finale. I'm sure there's going to be some fireworks coming your way.